Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today is an extremely big day. We're gonna go ahead and get the BMW back. So I'm sure you guys have been wondering where the BMW went. It's been a long time since you guys have seen that car. As you guys remember, I was talking about a few problems that the car had, such as it won't start on its own power. And the solution to that problem was right under our noses. I'll explain more when we get the car, but let's just go ahead. You can probably hear the Hellcat rumbling behind me. That's the chariot of choice today. So let's go ahead, hop in the Hellcat, get that BMW back. So after all this hard work, guys, 2 years in the making, almost 2 years, this car's finally done. I can't wait to get this thing home and give it a nice wash.
He rolled up the windows and everything. It's cool.
Taking good care of it. I almost forgot that the windshield is cracked. That's how dusty it is. Oh shoot! You guys might have saw a little bit too much of the Hellcat right there. We're doing something a bit special to it. Oh snap! I haven't seen this car in a while. Let's go, guys. Here goes. Dude, no way. Dude, no way. Our glove. Oh, should we get? Guys, I still can't believe that this car is working. I still can't believe this car is working. I mean, we bought this car in March of 2021, I believe. It's really windy outside right now. But it was sometime around March of 2021. And this car was by far the most damaged car we have ever rebuilt on this channel. I just can't believe it's actually running. And it looks so good on the outside. Like, you would never, after we're done replacing all the little things back onto the car, even the way it is now, you can never tell that this car was ever in an accident. And the way it runs, I mean, it's just immaculate. I can't believe it. Like, we had to swap the entire engine from another car because the crankshaft was bent in the original engine. That's just crazy. Alright guys, so I'm in the BMW. It has a light for the power steering on right now, but other than that, there's no other codes on this car besides an airbag light, which all the airbags have been replaced. But other than that, this car just doesn't have power steering, so it's super hard to turn this thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drive this car back. I didn't bring my phone mount. I don't know how, but I forgot it. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna head to the shop because there's some parts we need to pick up for this car, such as that C-pillar right there. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna try to get like a mini drive-in for you guys on the road. And then other than that, I'm gonna try to focus really hard on driving because I gotta really calculate my turns with this. So let's just go ahead and start the first drive. All right. All right, guys. Here we go, first drive. Oh my gosh, it runs really good. Holy cow. It seems that we got a new light, but I'm sure all that stuff is obviously related to either the alignment or the steering rack. But guys, this thing is running and it's easier to turn obviously while the car is moving. Guys, I honestly still can't believe it. Like, this thing's quick too. And my brother's gonna definitely do a pull in the Hellcat under here. Dang, that thing is ear piercing. He always does it under that bridge, so. But this thing is quick, guys. The pickup is insane. This thing is running really good. But I'll go ahead and I'll see you guys at the shop. Alright guys, so we made it here to the shop. Car runs beautifully. I went ahead and I grabbed everything that I remember needing. So I got the C-pillar, 2 wipers, and these are all the nuts and bolts to fasten everything else down. And just looking at these bags, you can see these things have been quite aged. This car has been in the making for quite a while now. All these other parts are at the house, so I'll see you guys at the house. Alright guys, so we got the BMW back home. It looks absolutely amazing, but this thing is long overdue for a nice full detail. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start off foaming up the entire car on the outside. Then we're gonna go ahead, scrub it down, get all the wheels clean, get everything looking right. Then we're gonna pull it in and clean the interior. But I don't want all this dirt and old polish residue and all the dust and dirt on this car to get splattered on that beautiful Camaro. So let's go ahead, start up that Camaro, and move it away from the BMW. That sound never gets old. Alright guys, the Camaro is moved. Let's go ahead, start the time lapse, and get this beauty cleaned up. This car's basically been a project for 1.5 years, and it's finally getting one of its first washes, and I just found the strangest thing right back there. It looks like a nail inside of the inner fender. It's like really stuck in there. What? Gosh, that's rusty. Holy cow. That is a drywall screw, it looks like. Alrighty then. Wonder what other goodies we might find. Alright guys, so the car is fully clean on the exterior. It looks absolutely amazing. I've never seen this car look this clean ever. Luckily, there was only two things that I found new on this car while I was cleaning. One was that nail, which I have no idea how that got there, but clearly with how rusted up it's been there for a while. And then the second thing is this tire is absolutely toasted. You can see right here, it's bubbling. I've never seen a tire bubble up like that before, but it probably isn't safe to keep air in this tire or to stand here by it, but that probably will have to get replaced. The next thing we have to do is the interior is already pretty clean. We just have to give it a wipe down on everything and get this car dust free on the inside. And we do actually have to get that steering wheel pretty deeply clean because it's been in the hands of a lot of different people and it is extremely greasy. Back seats are buckled up, looking nice, just how I left them. But let's just go ahead, pull this thing into the garage, into the nice warm garage where it's not cold, and get this car all cleaned up. Holy snap, this thing looks really good under this garage light. It cleaned up amazing. I honestly can't believe that this car is in this garage right now. Like, this car was just so much work to get to this point, and now here we are cleaning it, getting it ready for the road. There's obviously a few little things here and there that I do want to fix up, like I want to replace this gasket from the parts car, and then in here this little trim piece is all breaking, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace that as well. That piece down there I'm gonna replace. And just things here and there. But now back to what I said in the beginning of this video. When I was talking about the problem was right under our noses, it's literally right here. So the main reason why a lot of the stuff wasn't working, the main problem why the car wasn't starting on its own power, was because the pyro fuse was blown. Now usually I did look for the pyro fuse already. I mentioned the pyro fuse a few times when I was working on this car, and I looked everywhere for it, and the reason I couldn't find it is because I was looking for something that looked a little bit like this. I'll pop up a picture right here, but that is not the power fuse in this car. In this car, the power fuse is this cable and that giant red box. So that's brand new, and now the car runs, but hey, at least the power fuse was found and the problem is fixed. But now guys, let's go ahead and get this interior dust free and get that steering wheel looking brand new again. Alright guys, so I just wiped down the interior. There's still a lot more to do. I still have to vacuum and get that steering wheel a little bit better, and then I have to wipe down all these glossy surfaces so they look nice and shiny. But before we go ahead and do all that stuff, right over here we have one last piece needed to finish this interior off completely. Perfect. Alright guys, the interior is mostly cleaned up. The gauge cluster does have a little bit of smudges on it, so I have this extremely soft microfiber cloth right here, or a rag or towel. Just gonna get all these smudges off with the solution that I have spread on it, because the plastic on these gauge clusters is somewhat sensitive. So now that that's done, I'm gonna use the dry part of it to get it super clean. Yeah, looks a whole lot better. There's a little bit of smudging right here in this corner. Alright guys, so the entire exterior and interior is fully cleaned up. This car looks amazing. That steering wheel, the floor mats, everything is looking absolutely impeccable. Super happy the way it came out. Looks amazing. Back seats, everything looks super good. I'm super happy the way it came out. But guys, this is all that we are going to be doing for today, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so we're finally back from the store. We got the oil pan, and we also got a few other things that I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. But what I went ahead and I did is I put the car on the rhino ramps. All four sides of the car are on rhino ramps. So this car is fully raised up in the air, so it's nice and safe for me to go under there and drain the old fluid. Right over here we have a brand new aluminum transmission pan. This thing looks very durable. It looks like that it will not be leaking any oil through the pan. And then I also went ahead and I got this off the parts car. This piece right here. So you can see the bracket in this one is intact, and it has a screw hole around it, and all the clips are intact. So that part over there is actually this control right here for the seat. So it's the exact same one, but it has a broken tab right here, and it kind of just bends and everything. So it's not, so it always slips off of the screw, which is in there. So it's not a very good hold with these clips, especially because there's a lot of broken ones too. So I went ahead and I took that off the parts car, and we'll slap that in. But now let's go ahead and drain that fluid. Alright guys, so I got the pan off, and I just want to show you the difference between this pan and that pan. So this one, fully aluminum with metal drain plugs. This one is plastic with plastic drain plugs. It didn't make any sense to me why it's plastic, especially the drain plug as well. This plug right here, completely stripped out. Tried everything to get it out. Tried Teflon tape, tried duct tape. I just tried something to make this hole not as stripped as it was, because this nut, it used to not be stripped, but the nut is so tight and the plastic is so weak that when you try to turn it, it just turns and rips out all the plastic. So I had no choice but to drill a tiny hole through that, and I let the fluid drain out for a little bit to make sure that there was no plastic in it, and then I started collecting the fluid. And then this sealant is what we put here to see if the pan still leaks after putting it on, which made us realize that after that we put this on, it was still leaking on the entire bottom of the pan. Like, this is all super oily. It's because it's somehow seeping through. So nice aluminum pan right here. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put more sealant on the edges to ensure a nice good bond so nothing ever seeps through, and then we'll slap this in. So let's do it. Guys, so here it is, a nice brand new aluminum transmission pan. It looks absolutely amazing down there. And in that time lapse, you probably saw that I put a gasket bead around it just to ensure that it doesn't leak. So I made a nice gasket seal right there around it. And luckily, I had just enough. I ended up using the entire tube. And I spread it on with my finger. I should have used gloves though, but it's okay because it's on now for good. I tightened up the bolts until the gasket started oozing out the sides a little bit. And then it says to let it harden for about an hour and then tighten them up all the way. So that is all we're going to be doing for tonight, guys. We are all out of transmission fluid because we do need more so we can get the right amount in there. So that is all we are doing for today, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, guys, so it is the next day here, and we went ahead and we got all the fluids needed to get this car running right. So we have 7 quarts of automatic transmission fluid here. And then we also went ahead and we went to the shop and we picked up some more parts off the parts car to get this car looking right. So let's go over those parts real quick. So like I mentioned previously, this is that one trim piece that's right over here on this car. It's all covered with glue from the auction. And then right here we have a driver's door panel. The reason we have this one here is because on this one in here, it does have a little bit of a tear in the rubber. So I thought might as well, since we have it, we can replace that with a brand new one. And then the big thing here, this is 2 harnesses, one for the left and one for the right rear doors. So basically, here's the situation with the rear doors. So on this side of the car door, the speaker isn't working, and some other components on this side, the speaker isn't working, and that door lock in the back isn't working either. So just to show you guys, this door is locked too. So I'm gonna hit the unlock button. That one didn't unlock, but this one did. On the code reader, it did say that a lot of components in these doors are short-circuited, so it has to be the harness, I'm assuming. So we're just going to give it a shot with the harness. But for now, let's just go ahead and start off with all the fluids. What? I just hopped under the car to take the fill plug out, and there's oil leaking. There's literally a drop of oil right there. It's obviously on this side of the transmission somewhere. There's got to be like a busted line or something. Where is it coming from? Transmissions don't just leak like that. There's like a hole in the side of it. It's not from here or here. I can see it. It's from here. It's not here. It's in this area right here. It's just focused right here. I mean, that's a lot. Oh, come on. There's a crack in the pan. There's a crack in this pan right up here. I can feel it. Let me inspect it. It's the only place it's leaking from. And it's all white around the edges. Everything else is nice machined. But it's white right here. There's definitely a crack right here. That's unfortunate. Alright guys, well, just talked to the AutoZone. And they don't have another one of these pans, but this pan is also no good. So they do have a plastic one, so we're going to go with plastic now. It is like twice as much more money, but plastic does have more benefits too because it does do better with temperature changes and doesn't fluctuate. And it's better at flexing and stuff, so it won't crack. Sometimes metal does. But anyways, let's just go ahead and get this pan off because I really want to get this issue fixed on this car. I want this car to start running again. So let's just take this pan off and get a new one. Alright guys, the pan is out. It sucks that it didn't work. I even like made a gasket on top of this gasket just to make a nice seal. Put all this work into it. I even waited an hour for it to cure and then I tightened it up more. But it sucks. I guess it just happens sometimes. The crack is somewhere under in this area. But let's just go ahead and get a new one. So I'll see you guys at the auto store. Alright guys, so we're back from the auto store. We got the brand new pan. Alright guys, the transmission pan is finally replaced. Now let's get back to the original thing and get that transmission filled with fluid. Alright guys, so we got the car dropped off on all 4 wheels. It's a little bit dark outside, but let's go for a test drive and see how this thing does. It's not actually open, it just thinks it is because the latches are busted. Alright guys, so it is the next day here. That when you're driving the car upon acceleration, it makes like almost like a grinding like sound. So after doing a little bit of research, it's actually a wire or some sort of a line that is dangling and it hits the drive shaft and creates that grinding kind of sound. So luckily it's nothing too major, but I just checked and I found that line dangling. So it is that. So that is the problem. Let me go ahead and show you guys. So if you look under here, there's a line way in the back right there. And it popped right off of its clip right there. You can see this one is on its clip, so it's supposed to look like that, and it's dangling, so that's what hits the shaft right about here. So it hits like right about here and it just grinds. So luckily we found that, so let's just go ahead and pop it in. All right guys, let's go ahead, go for a test drive, and hopefully no more funky sounds. Alright guys, so we're back from the test drive. Car drove great, but that is going to be all for today's video, guys. I'm super happy to finally get this BMW back. It took a long time and it was a super long journey to get this car to the stage that it's at today. But that is going to be all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're liking the BMW build, then be sure to go down below and hit that like button. And while you're at it, there's a shiny red subscribe button that you should click. That's all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.